Morning, folks. Day shaving cream is going to be from, it's called, I think it's pronounced Veleiro, something like that. I'm not really sure. Anyhow, it comes by the way of Portugal. This particular tube made out of aluminum, I think it started out with about 4.2 ounces of shaving cream, and that's what the backside looks like. Get some of the glare off of it there. I know it has a scent. My nose, I could tell you what it is. I have a link down below. It runs right around the $5 mark. Not really expensive. Be worth a try perhaps for some folks. And I'm going to be following today's shave up with some Barbedeaux. Yeah, this container is just that big, 6.4 ounces, and at least that's what it started out with. It's a 200 milliliter container, but it started out with 6.4 ounces. I've got the lather whipped up here with a brush from Metalworks, and pretty good looking brush. It's not real big, but it does a great job working up the lather. Synthetic knot. I think it's a whip dog knot if I remember correctly. And I got some of the usual suspects here in the way of, got the alum block, Crown King alum block complete with rubber band this morning, as well as a mentholated, pepperminted witch hazel. There's a little bit left still in there. And the shavers of the day, Mike wanted to, you might say, a comparison between the two. And I think this will be the first one that I've done. So I'll shave one side, yes, the right. I'll try to keep this straight. The right side with the RazoRock SLOC, in other words, self-lubricating open comb. And this handle here is I think it's the stainless steel handle. It's got some weight behind it. The cap and base plate is aluminum, and both these shavers will be equipped with the Perma-Sharp blade, which is a pretty good blade. I really can't complain about the performance I've been able to get out of it. The other shaver that's going to go on the left hand side is an old Gillette, I guess you might say, open comb. And this is the handle that came with this particular cap and base plate, and you can kind of tell there is an overhang with this particular model. For me, this particular short open comb is, how can you say? For me, I find it aggressive. Very efficient though. Yes, it's the shaves I get with this are very close to being, as goes for efficiency, very close to being like a shavette or a straight razor. It does not leave much on my face at all. So we'll do the comparison between the two, and got my ice cube over here. My ice cube. It's a Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Preshave lather cube. There's a number of things that Preshave does. One of the things it does is it's got a lather booster in it. And I'm going to try to hang on to it. It's a little slippery this morning. But this is mentholated. That's the reason why it's the ice cube. There's different versions, like for instance, rabbit banana, so on and so forth. If menthol is not your thing. For this kind of weather though, it sure does work well for me. It's I think it's supposed to get near 90. I think that's going to be the running theme temperature wise, is right around the 90-degree mark, which is with the humidity that gets up there. In other words, what was it? Saturday, I think the heat index was supposed to be right around 107. It might have got more than that. Depends on what part of the world you live in, whether humidity becomes a factor or not. In other words, we have, I guess you might say, the wet heat as opposed to the dry heat. I used to live in the, back when I was younger, live in the southwestern part of Oklahoma, where it was more of a dry heat down there. It was just dry, period, as far as that goes. You can kind of see that this pre-shave works up the lather. The more you want to work it up, the more, you can work up pretty good lather with it without really trying hard. This lather I whipped up is just a little on the moist side, not exactly drippy, but it could get there pretty easy if a person wanted to. There's still a little bit of water left in the brush. That is one thing about synthetics. And as time goes on, it might change. They have more, they don't necessarily absorb the water like a natural bristle would, but they do hold water in between the bristles. It'll be interesting to see how that changes. See if they are able to come up with a way that it'll retain more water like a natural bristle. Even at that though, and that probably will also go the other direction. Like for instance, you know, the fact that it holds water between as opposed to absorb it, that the try to keep straight which side I'm supposed to be on. How quick a knot dries out. In other words, after you've used it and you're trying to get it to dry rather quickly, and especially if you're traveling, a synthetic knot is the kind of brush knot you would like to have. I should mention with this aluminum head, there is just a bit of feedback. It sounds pretty cool. I guess you might say it might, for some folks, depending on what kind of blade you put in there, it might be a singing type shave. Now with this one here, this handle is, like say the original handle, it is hollow and it's got a couple of cracks in it. Just a note, this particular handle has the patent date, which is, what was it, July 20th of 1920, or no, January 13th of 1920. Yeah, there we go. Anyhow, that stamp is up here, up there towards the top, and there's nothing down here. And I've got some handles that it's got a flip-flop where the stamp is down here as it goes for the patent date and whatnot, and this is blank up here. I've seen it both ways, in other words. This is a very efficient shaver, and as it goes for feedback, it does have the feedback, and there is quite a bit of a blade feel. It's quite a bit. To me, in my opinion, the one that RazoRock has, that where you can get just the cap and base plate that's patterned after this particular setup, is just a touch milder than this here, which might make it more appealing for some folks. I should mention, if you're going to use the old handle, you want to just snug up in between the head and the handle. You don't want to use any He-Man strength, because like I said, this one here has got two small cracks, one at the top and one towards the bottom. It's a hollow handle, so you want to be pretty careful about how you snug up after you put the blade in there. If I remember, I'll take this apart, especially on the RazoRock SLOC, because in case you haven't had any experience with the Perma-Sharp blade, this particular Perma-Sharp blade doesn't have any ink on it. It's the kind that has the laser etching, and it's not easy to see. The first time I thought it was just blank. I didn't even see it at all. But it is there. It's just not the easiest to see. And plus the blade, the base plate on the RazoRock is also labeled that it's the version 2, which is something I appreciate, because sometimes you know, when you get different versions, you're looking at it and you can't tell the difference between one and the other sometimes. And it's nice to have those labelings on the bottom. This is a pretty nice shaver. Now, with this handle, with the RazoRock, you don't necessarily have to get this handle. In other words, you can get a lighter handle if you're looking for something lightweight all the way around. Can tell you though, this is a smoother shaver than Gillette, but I don't know. We'll find out at the end of the shave whether it's as efficient. Oh, I should mention, because I'm quite familiar with the Gillette old style, I guess you might say, open comb. I have over here on the side, I'll show you here in a moment. Yeah, that did take down quite a bit. I have a Nivea men's cream that, oh, I guess I don't need that. I get confused, don't I? Nivea cream that I might use off camera if I need to help calm down the shave afterwards. The aftershave balm is pretty nice too, but it seems like to me that the cream is, how can you say, more efficient. Not only does it calm down a shave that may be a little bit rough, but it also does it quick, and how can you say, it goes away quick and it stays that way. It doesn't come back, in other words. I have noticed that with some balms, sometimes, partway through the day, the irritation, in other words, the close shave that you got, that stinging will come back. And especially for me, I have spots that I know are problematic. If it's going to come back, that'll be one of the first places that'll let me know. There's still a little bit left there. This side here with the RazoRock, this next pass could probably pass as a pickup if you wanted to go with, might consider 2.5 passes. And I've got just this portion right through here on my neck with the Gillette. Cheeks are fairly smooth. Not a whole lot left. So I think a lot of this is probably, as it goes for efficiency, in between the two, it has a lot to do with my beard growth. Because either side could end up with just a pickup pass, if you will. I do enjoy using the old style, if you will, open comb from Gillette from time to time. Like I said, it is very efficient. It's like, it just takes it off, and you can definitely tell that you're getting a very close shave. For some folks, I don't know, using it for a daily shaver is going to be an option for them. It may be just too aggressive. So in other words, with the Gillette, you don't have to worry about exfoliating. It'll take care of it for you. But yeah, as it goes for smoothness, you have to give it to the RazoRock. It is very smooth and pretty darn efficient. We'll find out here in the rest of this part over here with the Gillette, but I have to say, it is smooth and it's pretty efficient. A little bit of feedback with the Gillette here. But I can tell, it is taking down anything that's left over without having to do any special strokes or anything. Kind of reminds me of a straight razor shave, in that the blade singing as it goes through the whiskers. There's not hardly anything left on this side. Pretty close. So it probably really just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a very efficient shave, if you're shaving about every other day, the Gillette open comb, it fits the bill. RazoRock, you could probably go, you may have to work at just a little bit more to get it as close as the Gillette, but they're pretty darn close. It's amazing. Smoothness, hands down, RazoRock's got it for me. I have tried different blades with the Gillette open comb, and it seems like no matter what blade I use, it still feels aggressive to me. It's a lot of blade feel. Even with the derby blade, you still get that blade feel, that experience, that it's a very efficient shaver. Very close. We'll make the shave for tomorrow even smoother and easier, I guess you might say. Tomorrow, if everything goes well, I plan on doing a shave with the supply razor for Stan. he put a comment in that he was looking into buying a supply injector and was wanting to know if I had one, if I'd do a video. And yes, I do have one. It's one of my favorite injectors. It's awesome. I really enjoy the shaves with it, and more than happy to do a shave with it. It's hard not to sing its praises. It really is for me because I enjoy it. I don't treat the supply injector like an injector. So in other words, that those injector issues with the blade going sideways and whatnot, I just take it apart, put the blade in there, and don't even have to worry about it. Got some witch hazel here. I'm going to go ahead and shake it up. That is one thing I noticed when I whip this up, that you do have to shake this up every time you use it. And I don't know how some folks, in other words, that add scents and whatnot to their witch hazel, how they do it where it looks mixed together, doesn't separate. That nice cooling effect. And also, I have to say, as it goes for the shaving cream, in between that and the pre-shave soap, slickness was there, not an issue. It really depends if you like creams or not. For me, the way I usually work things, I use more than enough shaving cream, shaving soap, to make sure that my lather has the best possible chance to succeed, like David Gonzalez would say. And so it seems like to me I do go through the cream a little bit quicker than I do the soap. I say a little bit, quite a bit quicker. So it just really depends on your preference. But as it goes for whipping it up, it takes no time at all to whip up the shaving cream. And knowing that I was shaving with the Gillette old style open comb, I definitely wanted to make sure I had this on hand. As it goes for, now this is supposed to be citrus scented. My nose doesn't pick up citrus. That's just my nose. And I have, every once in a while, I might pick it up. But for me, the scent was not what was impressive, it's what it does for my face. After a shave like this, the calming, the effect that it does on my face, it's just really nice. I got a link down below also for this stuff if you want to check it out. I should mention, if you're interested in a brush that looks like this, you'll probably have to get somebody to commission to do one, because this one here, Mac doesn't do this work anymore. Really unfortunate, because that was one of the first brushes I got from him. I really like that brush. It looks really cool. Don't see very many brushes that are made like this, and I don't know if I can get some of the glare off of how that handle looks. Looks like it's like marble. It just really looks nice. Cool. It's one of my favorite brush handles. Anyway, hopefully I don't ever drop it on the floor. Very close shave. I would be smooth for a good, oh gosh, even late in the evening. I bet you there's not going to be much stubble coming out. I had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.